Sixth race of the afternoon in the hands of the starter. It's post time. Afternoon 6 is the Wendell W.J. Eddy Memorial Pace Field of 8 with Bet on Art and Sean Link, Halmack Impeccable, Kevin Bailey, Dusty Lane Westy, Danny Campbell, The Fascinator, Jack Ellsworth, Private Paradise, Arden Moffat, Shania Twain, Harold LeBlanc Jr., Post Haste, Idolo Camelli, Florida Bound, Mark Pazzarello. Here they come. And there they go off on pacing. It's Bet on Art and Dusty Lane Westy both firing out there into the turn from the back tier. Post Haste looks to fill the pocket. Then fourth away is Halmack Impeccable. On the outside, fifth, Private Paradise. And then sixth going to the quarter, we find Florida Bound. The early trailers are The Fascinator. And at the back, Shania Twain. So go the backstretch for time one. Bet on Art, the veteran gelding on the lead here. In line to Sean Link, Dusty Lane Westy, parked and driving on here. Not looking at that two-hole at this point. 29 and 1 opened it up. Post Haste off the early speed back there. Third, Halmack Impeccable looks at it. Fourth, gapping back fifth round the turn to Private Paradise. Then sixth, the Florida Bound, followed up by The Fascinator. And Shania Twain continues to trail as they hit the opening half mile. The battle will continue up front here. Bet on Earth, the leader, Dusty Lane Westy back out to challenge again. Halmack Impeccable's off the pylons there from third. Post Haste shoots the gap fourth. Private Paradise looks at it fifth. Then Florida Bound, The Fascinator trying to get motivated. And Shania Twain trails halves up in a minute. And a fifth for Bet on Art going to three quarters. There'll be three wide there now. Dusty Lane Westy, Halmack Impeccable coming fastest of them all. Post Haste down at the inside there from fourth. Then Private Paradise looks at it fifth. 3/4 in 1. 31 and 2. Halmack Impeccable trying to clear. Bet on Art with an eighth of a mile left to go. Dusty Lane Westy outside third. Post Haste up the cones fourth. Wendell W.J. Eddy Memorial, Bailey and Halmack Impeccable into the stretch. Bet on Art trying to battle back at the inside here and is responding deep in the stretch. Halmack Impeccable, Bet on Art. Oh, set up the camera. Bet on Art. David Ollie had at the inside and is going to set up a win photo with Halmack Impeccable in the Wendell Eddy Memorial in 2:02 and 2. In that win photo, it's the two, Halmack Impeccable. Sixth race this afternoon is the Wendell W.J. Eddy Memorial. Wendell passed away in June 2016 at the age of 51. A Sydney native for most of his life. As a young boy, you would find him at the track, the Turf Club, later known as Tartan Downs. Like all young kids around the track, once you started hanging out with your friends, the track became part of your life. And as in Wendell's case, it was his life. As he grew into his teens, his parents didn't have to look very far to find him. Yes, Wendell was across at the track. He was learning the tricks of the game from three horsemen who he had great respect for: Freddie Saunders, Bobby Leet, and Alec Trapper McCory. Wendell was in good hands working with these horsemen throughout the years. They taught him well in his early years, and he carried that experience with him as he moved on and started training horses for others. Wendell was also close to the late Bob McKenzie and his boys. Wendell was a horseman who lived his life for the racetrack and the horses that he trained, groomed, and yes, even cleaned their stalls. His undying love for the Standardbred was second to none. He was the registered owner of Dominating Force, and every horse that Wendell trained or warmed up on race day, that horse was, for the time that he spent with it, his. He became so attached to each horse that their owners always knew their horses were in good hands with Wendell. In the past few years, one horse Wendell became fond of was Chapter. Wendell would tell Greg Sparling if Chapter didn't race well, it was because he, Wendell, wasn't available to warm him up on that particular race day. Wendell always had an answer. He spent many days working around the Hocko stable with Butch, Melissa, John, and Courtney, while he wore his red hoodie with pride as he cheered on their stable. His friends Rob Cox, Sean Deering, Morgan Ferguson, and the late George Rutherford were always there to honor WJ's memory since his passing. We could write lots about Wendell's life, but like he would say, enough already. Let's get the races started. In closing, one thing we can say, the harness racing game in Cape Breton won't get any richer with the passing of everyone's friend, Wendell Eddy. Rest in peace. There's Hal Mack Impeccable back in the 6th race winner's circle. Wendell Eddy Memorial 7-year-old bay mare by Articulator from the Island Fantasy Dam, Stonebridge, Capri. For Kevin Bailey, Kim Gottwald, Bryn White, Sandra O'Donnell, Kevin Bailey training and driving. The mare gets her first win on the season. It'll be her third lifetime today. Family and friends, the late Wendell Eddy trackside with that cooler presentation here on Memorial Day 2022. Hal Mack Impeccable in the afternoon 6th in 2:02 and 2.